Joe, what's happening?
What's up, fellas?
Hi,
Hey.
Joe. How you doing, buddy?
How you guys enjoying Vegas?
I'm going to take a guess here and say you don't like Vegas. Is it?
I
is it
hated
one
Vegas.
Okay, there we go. I can tell.
Until if you guys have a chance, you should go over to the UFC facility, the Performance Center.
Okay.
Didn't like Vegas until I went into that facility, spent some time there. Now I love going there.
Interesting.
Right,
That's
so,
it. Patriots took their team there last year when we were out here. That's when Belichick had the belt on. Was flexing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, perfect segue. Was Kristaps Porzingis watching you do jiu-jitsu the other day? Is that what was going on?
Yeah, I guess he was. He caught me by surprise there.
And this video is fascinating. It's just you like climbing all over a guy. Like what? I can't stop watching. It's great. What's going on when you do that? Like what is that?
So it's kind of a drill where you gotta it's a mobility and a coordination drill. So you gotta kind of use really all of your body parts to not fall off. And so it's a hard one, but it's funny when I first started doing it, I could never get one trip. And so as you just kind of learn to, use your coordination, use your mobility, got to move multiple body parts at the same time, use all of your body parts. It's really just kind of a well-rounded drill. So I've grown to kind of enjoy it. Thanks a lot, Casey.
Yeah, look, it looks like it requires a lot of strength. I just wanted to let you know, I think Kristaps should stay away from doing any jiu-jitsu right now.
Snap something.
It's just so if he's intrigued by it to the point that he wants to start doing it, I think you should tell him, no, you can't. That's not allowed.
I mean, yeah. He doesn't jump in, but him and I have built a relationship over kind of just the arts in general. He's a fan of UFC, a fan of the arts. So we've grown close, just kind of talking about it.
Hey, Joe, we obviously weren't there. We were traveling to get out here, but Marcus Smart made the return. Was it good seeing him? Was it good for the players to see him, and especially the fans, a little tribute you guys had for him?
I mean, I think it was good for everybody. I think sometimes, when during trades, things happen so fast. It happened in a time where nobody was around, so to speak. And so to be able to, we were able to catch up at his wedding. But to be able to kind of catch up and, sometimes you don't understand an impact or you don't understand something until it's not there anymore. And I think it was really special the way the fans treated him, the way his teammates treated him, the way, the organization treated him. And you realize the lasting impact that he's had on this city and that he'll always have on this city. And I think it says a lot about him where it's like, I talk about this a little bit where it's bigger than basketball. And I think his, the impact that he's had on a community, on people, is so much bigger than basketball. And I think it really showed.
Did that sort of provide some closure to the team to see him and have that moment and now sort of, I don't want to say move on from the Marcus Smart era, but, kind of say, all right, we did this and we had this moment and it was good. And now we've acknowledged that, you were a great teammate and thanks for all the good times.
I don't know if necessarily closure. I think just more, like I said, I think it's more of an affirmation of it's bigger than basketball. And I think the city proved that. A guy that's no longer on the team, they still appreciate who he is and what he's done. And so I don't necessarily look at that. I think it's more of just affirmation of how the city treats people. When you do things right, you play the right way, and you're in the community. And so that's kind of the biggest thing I took from it.
Joe, you mentioned you don't really know what you have sometimes until it's gone. And so I'm curious now.
They have a song about that.
I do know that song. We can sing it later.
Snake? Is it White Snake? Yeah.
What's the song?
Go ahead.
How do you feel as though...
I think it's White Snake.
By the way,
I was going to say Sheryl Crow.
It might be Cinderella.
Third 10-day.
This is probably number 2.
Yeah.
Nice.
Number 2.
He's back from Portland.
Just trying to carve out a role for myself, Joe. Role guy. Happy to do whatever the team needs here. Thank you very much. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how you've made up for what you've lost in Marcus Smart when it comes to the toughness quotient on your team. Do you feel like you're still trying to find that out?
No, I mean, I think we have it. I think toughness looks different for different players. And I think that's something that he tried to highlight is with the addition of Drew and Kristaps and Derek's role and what Jason and Jalen have done over the years, and Peyton, Sam, really our entire team. Like toughness just looks different, and sometimes it's speaks loudly if it's loose balls, if it's taking charges, if it's hustle plays, if it's fighting through screens. But it also can just be like playing every single night or making the right play over and over again. And so I think on both ends of the floor, toughness just looks different. And it's more just highlighting the strengths of the players that we have now. And I kind of said that before when Marcus was not here. Is like we're not going to be able to replace him, but we're going to be able to. It's going to look different, but we want to maintain that identity of toughness, and I think all of our guys have done a good job of that.
So I'm about to use an adjective that I think has a negative connotation, and that is Marcus Smart could be nasty, and I mean that in a good way, right? The guy with real edge and could be nasty and could get in the face of an opposing player and had that sort of thing to him. Who's that guy on this team now? Because you see guys in private moments, in a practice that's a tough practice that might get heated. Who is that person?
I don't know if we have nasty, but I think it looks different. So I think, Jalen's ability to just lock in on a player and pick up full court, that's big time. You know what I mean? Drew's ability to fight through screens and guard different players, that's different. Derek's ability to block shots and dive on loose balls and get back tips. Jason's ability to end the game with a game-winning block. Kristaps's ability, and really on the offensive end, to just bury guys in the post and his block shots. You saw kind of really glimpses of that at Houston at home in the third quarter. I think Peyton's changed games with his offensive rebounding and his hustle plays, and I think Luke's played at a different level of his physicality. So it's more about how you perceive our guys, where each guy is. I think we have a very tough team, and each guy represents that differently.
But you bring up Jalen's name, and I remember when the All-Star break happened, you had the dunk contest, and when I was younger, all the superstars were in it. Jalen has shown interest to participate in the dunk contest. Does his coach approve of that, or would you rather him rest?
Whatever he wants to do, I don't mind.
All right,
I don't mind. That's kind of their time,
Yeah, need one of our guys in it. I like that.
I don't want to get in the way of what those guys what they want to do on their time.
Did you watch the dunk contest growing up, Joe? I feel like everyone.
Remember Spud Webb?
I wasn't like a diehard get home and watch the All-Star game, but I definitely saw a couple of them. I remember some of the more iconic dunks, but I wasn't getting home, rushing home to make sure we watch it.
Where would you rank your All-Star games and weekend compared to the NFL just had the flag football bowl, the NHL had their All-Star game over the weekend? Where would you rank the NBA as far as All-Star games? I'd put it up there.
I would say I'd put it up there. I'd say it's number one, I think.
Yeah, more so than baseball. Baseball used to be big too when you were playing for something.
I tell you what, I have to tell you my 1999 All-Star game in Boston.
Yeah. Oh, that's an all-time. I'm just saying, the way the sports have changed.
No, what's the story?
What's that?
So my uncle drives me up, and you know how they had all the stuff going on outside of Fenway, the stadium. So we went up for 2 days, and the second day we go up. I get in a cab with Ray Knight. Shared a cab with Ray, and I think I was 11. And then this guy comes up, which this couldn't happen in today's society. And was like, hey, I got one ticket to the game. It was just this random stranger. I'm 11. My uncle's like, well, you can't not go to the All-Star game. And so he's like, I'll meet you right here. Hopefully you come back by the end of the game. So 11 years old, I get to go watch the 99 All-Star game at Fenway, just all by myself, sitting in the stadium.
You and a stranger. Just
him
taking in the All-Star game together.
Yeah, I think it was him and his wife, just three of us.
Wow.
Taking in the All-Star game.
You're right. That would probably draw a red flag in 2024.
Yeah, it would. Right, but back then, no, it was cool. 25 years ago, things were a little different.
But unbelievable.
Yeah,
you were there for it.
Ted Williams come out, right, on the card.
Pedro.
Pedro was unbelievable. But
and you get to see Smash Mouth
great
perform,
moments.
Joe. That had to be fun. One of your favorite bands.
Unbelievable also. And I still have the book that comes with it where they teach you how to throw the pitches in the back of the pamphlet. And so I spent a lot of time trying to throw all the different kind of pitches. Got me nowhere, obviously.
So you got a nice 12-6 now because of that pamphlet?
Yeah, I got a great slider I've been working on.
Oh, very nice. Did you watch Raging Bull this week, as you instructed us to do?
You guys watch Raging Bull. You're the ones that are in Vegas.
Yeah, and it's still good, and it's still Scorsese film. I mean, what are we supposed to say about it now? That would be my question.
So that was the first time I'd seen it. I did watch it this week.
Oh, you did?
First time I'd seen it. And
what do you think?
Very well done. As a reporter by trade, I appreciate that it seems as though they really tried to get it right, because boy, did they not do Jake LaMotta any favors with how he was portrayed.
No.
I mean, just a violent, less than impressive human being.
Yeah.
Yeah. So every movie, I usually go to like the IMDb section and look at like the trivia.
Yeah.
Two things stick out. I guess in real life, after the movie, the real Jake LaMotta asked his wife, "Was I this bad?" And she says, "You were worse." Which is pretty interesting. You saw that. And then the other one that stood out was like Scorsese does New York, New York. It's a failure. And then like De Niro's got to beg him to do this movie. And like, look at Scorsese now. Like, imagine if like Raging Bull's never made. Is there even Scorsese?
I mean, it's really interesting. I mean, it is. I think there's some. I feel like the later life stuff, like when they show him later on. I don't know. I feel like it's. How long's the movie? How long is it?
2 hours.
Yeah, it's like a full 2 hours. I don't. Here's what I wonder about it. You say like, would there ever be Scorsese? Would they ever make a movie like that now? Like, or would they shorten that up? You know?
Yeah.
It's an old fashioned. It almost reminded me a little bit of the black and white. It sounds as though the reason it was eventually shot in black and white was because as they started shooting and they did some of the boxing scenes, the color of the gloves on the old 8mm film was somehow ruining the image.
Oh.
And so Scorsese said, I guess we have to do this in black and white.
That's why.
So it wasn't even really an artistic choice at first. It was by necessity. And it ends up giving it this feel, and it takes you back in time in that way. And it is reminiscent. There's, with La Dolce Vita or one of these other old Italian films in black and white, it's got a very similar feel to it, to me, Joe.
Yeah.
Weird, because Rocky...
I think Pesci was great in that movie.
Great. And another, again, this is some of the same trivia that I'm sure Joe saw.
Yeah.
LaMotta's brother sued, I don't know if it was Scorsese or the production company or what, for $2.5 million.
Did he win?
Because he hated his portrayal in the movie. I did not follow up to see if he actually won the suit. We got to find out.
I'm interested in that element about the gloves because Rocky was made 4 years prior to that. And they're using...
It's really interesting.
Right? I mean...
Different type of film maybe or something that Scorsese preferred.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That might be what it was. But yeah, no, we checked it out.
It's an American dream story, but it's a sad one.
Oh yeah, it's not.
Right?
It's not.
No, it's
almost
sad,
not feel good.
The cost of the pursuit of the American dream in some way. The guy ruined his marriage, his relationship with his brother, the whole deal.
So then I followed that up with Killers of the Flower Moon, another Scorsese. That was great.
Oh, Jesus. I haven't seen it yet. I'm actually reading the book right now. I have the book sitting in my hotel room right now. I don't want to see the movie until I read the book.
I haven't read the book, but the movie was good. I mean, I thought it was good.
I'd have to check that one out too.
Yeah.
You guys forced me into watching these movies. This is such a blind spot for me. Lots of classic movies that I just haven't seen.
Well,
so it started with The Perfect Storm on this show.
Yep.
Animal House.
On to Raging Bull. I have seen Animal House.
Good.
Okay.
And Joe Mazzulla will keep giving you movies to go watch.
What's the next one? This is a newer Scorsese movie,
right? That's the next one I got to watch.
Oh, yeah, that's
What was that one?
Pope of Greenwich Village.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen that one.
Classic.
I've seen
I haven't seen that one yet. I got to watch that one.
Okay.
Hey, Joe, since there aren't any intimate restaurants out here, you got a favorite restaurant in Vegas? It's like they're all new and the same. They don't have any.
A lot of things to choose from here.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not really. I kind of go to different spots. I don't really have one. Kind of a lot going on there.
Okay. It is very busy. A lot of choices.
I mean, we've been around. We went to the Vegas Knights game last night. The hockey team.
Yeah, we checked that out.
It's a different vibe out here, man. The sports fans.
Oh,
you think Joe would have had a good time at Carlos Santana?
Oh yeah. How do you feel about Carlos Santana, Joe? You a fan?
I mean, I would say one of my favorite songs is Maria Maria. It's a beautiful song.
Oh, it was amazing live. Saw it on Sunday night.
Really?
It was incredible. The show was incredible.
He did the national anthem. I think when we played the Warriors at the Chase Center one time.
Yep, I remember that.
He's great.
Yeah. Maria Maria was. I was begging Big Jim Murray from Felger, Mass. I was like, at least stay through Maria Maria. It was like like 2 or 3 songs out, and he didn't stay. And I'm like, you're an idiot. You blew it.
You had to go to the spa.
You blew it. It was
Should
a great
fine.
show and great performance. Joe, great talking to you as always.
Good stuff, Joe.
Hey, by the way, I coach the Celtics, guys. If you didn't know, I do have a job. So maybe we'll talk about that next time.
Did we not touch it up on the basketball team?
Did he take a shot at us?
You always tell us that we ask too many basketball questions, and so,
so you know
we
I had
asked
to go
all the
the
other
other
stuff
way, you know?
today.
Exactly. Just to get a laugh.
Just keeping
All
us
right.
on our toes.
Keeping us
All
honest.
right, hey, tell you what.
He
We'll
wants
bring
to strike
Gary
the balance.
Washburn in next week.
Yeah, we'll bring him in and we'll ask you nothing but basketball questions.
Yeah.
All right, fellas.
We could do that too. We could do that too.
All right. See you, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe. It's unbelievable, this guy.
He's the one that
He's
said,
the one who's
hey.
always on our case every week. Oh, you're gonna want? Can we have some fun? Why do you keep asking me about
let's have some
basketball?
fun.
Now
Restaurants, movies.
Now,
Thought that's what he wanted.
I
You
can't
know what?
win with him.
Next week, we're doing all zone basketball, man-to-man.
Super serious,
breaking, right.
technical questions.
You know what? Well, I'm gonna read basketball analytics all week next
Play
week.
breakdowns.
And be ready for
Substitution patterns.
Yep.
shooting
Yes.
from outside the arc
Yep.
on the left side.
Yep. And then
End of
Reliance
game.
on the 3-point shot.
Right.
can't,
All right.
I can't win with Mazzulla, man. Can't
Well, there
win
you
with
go.
that guy.
How about